when I arrived in the Philippines, I said, this is where I want to live. People in the Philippines are very Latin. They're very friendly. They're very loving, and it's a great place. The Mama Luz itself started in 2010, so we're 11 years today. The restaurant name Mama Luz comes from the name of my first wife that unfortunately passed away. Her name was Malu, and we had worked together on many recipes. She was a great cook, and we were looking for a name that was more like family, because Italian dining, family, we're not fine dining, but we want good food. And the fact that it's family, so Mama Lu, so that's where the name comes from. I think it was David, the husband of Cristal, my two partners, that said, hey, why we don't call it Mama Lu's? Actually, personally, I really prefer Italian food, okay? Some people say I have tomatoes in my blood instead of blood. So, and I was raised in Montreal in a very Italian neighborhood. And on my mother's side, there were some Italians. Two of my uncles were Italian, and my aunts were married to Italians. So when we go there, oh my God, the food was great. And Italian food in the Philippines is much more popular than French food. French food is very rich. It's not as, for me, not as healthy as Italian food. Wow, what sets us apart? I think the care. I've been in IT business for many years, and I always cared for my customers. My suppliers were there to service me, but my guests, my customers, have always been the most important thing. And if you take care of your guests, you listen to them, and you service them the best way you can, I think that's what puts us apart. here, in many ways, we care who you are. You're a guest, and we want you to be happy. And that culture is really French Canadian. We're really very friendly people. We're not cold. We're very warm people. Maybe I'll sound old-fashioned, but it's love. Love of food, love of seeing happy people in my restaurant. When somebody, for whatever reason, they're not happy with we will replace the dish. It's really a lot of love. There's no specific secret ingredients. You know, it all boils down to if you care for your customers. Well, we're alive, and all our branches are still open, although some of them were closed during the lockdown itself because of no dine-in. Not everybody has the space for al fresco. We're very lucky in the BF branch that we have. When it all started, I remember overnight we had to source takeout, because we really, it really was not our core business, the takeout. It was, oh my God, takeout. You know, before that we're talking about delivery. Should we have our own motorbike, or should we do this? And we also know that our food is much better when you eat it on site. So we really never really pushed into delivery. But with the pandemic, nobody has a choice. You know, so delivery and pickup was. So we turned around. We focused on packaging. David and my daughter Cristal did a great job in redefining some of the recipes so that the food would be better. Sometimes we would put extra ingredients on the side. So, and then we got into fresh food. So you could buy frozen lasagnas, frozen soup, frozen pasta, bolognese sauce, and all that. And then I talk a lot about David and Cristal because they're really my business partners. They're the young ones. Okay, maybe I'm on the old-fashioned side. I'm not into all these online things, although I'm an IT guy, because for me, personal service is very important, but it has its limit. Personal service, if you can't see the customer, doesn't exist, right? So they did a great job in putting the Mama 6262 to order food. We had agreements with the main delivery organizations, like Grab was one of our main ones. I think some branches, Food Panda and others. I can't remember all their names. But we actually turned around. And then along the way, they created Mama Food, because people we got into a bit the cloud kitchen, and with Mama Food we have food from other countries, which is starting to grow, and some of the dishes are very, very good. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how rich you are. As long as you have a good idea, you're going to be dedicated to it, and you want to make sure it's going to succeed. Yes, there's all this philosophy about you need so much money, you have to be at the right place, location is very important. I never looked at that personally. Now, yes, we expand, we look in a mall. Is it a good mall? Is it not? When you grow, then you have to look at it. When you start, you have to look at the passion. You have to look at if you have a great or good idea, and if you're going to be dedicated to it. Don't open a business and put employees there and think you're going to succeed. You have to take care of it. Okay? I started my first restaurant. I was already old. Actually, I was about 50. Yeah, about 50. And I had full of energy, I had full of passion, and not that much money. Never think that foreigners have all the money. We don't. It was really passion, and it worked. But I was dedicated. I used to work all day in my IT job. Then in the middle of the evening, go take care of my restaurant, talk to my customers. In those days, we used to close at 1 in the morning. I always figured there was a market for food after people finished drinking. So I took advantage of that market also. So everything went well. You know, ROI was within 6 months. And it went well. And prior to that, in Canada, yeah, I started quite a few business. I had a business center. I had vending machine distribution. I had computer consulting company. And hey, made one wrong move, and things got bad, and had to go back to work and look for a job. And thank God, that's how I ended up in Hong Kong, and I'm very happy. And when I arrived in the Philippines, I said, this is where I want to live. People in the Philippines are very Latin. They're very friendly. They're very loving, and it's a great place. So never wanted to leave. We're all struggling because, I mean, we have no idea what's gonna what's gonna happen next week, and what's gonna happen. You know, we all went through this process of safety seal, okay? And then for a week, kids were allowed in the restaurant. Oh my God, wow, we said business is booming. We had a lot of teenagers. It was great. Then Friday morning, we get our safety seal. Friday afternoon, they announced lockdown again. Just when you were struggling, you say, wow, you see the light, it's going to be great. The clouds arrive again, no more sun. So we're all struggling. Delivery will be there for quite a while. And if you're not into delivery, you better move and get into delivery. Get into good packaging. Get into different items for menu, because not everything is nice when you deliver it. So sometimes you have to modify your menu, you have to add things, remove things, you have to adapt. It's a full-time job. It's very stressful because you don't know every decision if it's going to work or not work. Take care of your staff. If you lose your staff, it's going to be difficult to find. You need for them to be fully vaccinated. You need them to be healthy. You have to be careful where they live. There's so many problems. It's really all our employees were vaccinated even before it became the law. You know, so with David, David was handling everything that was related to pandemic. We followed everything that they told us to follow. You know, we have the plastic dividers downstairs. Yeah, most people don't like it. Believe me, I don't like it. But, you know, you have to follow. If the restaurant business dies, and if I'm the only one left alive, it's not going to work. Okay? So everybody has to survive. And just work hard. And the other problem is a lot of restaurants close. So your suppliers, they're always calling you to get paid, right? So because you're alive, they cannot call the dead. They will never get anywhere. So you have to have a good relation with your suppliers also. So overall, yeah, it's tough. Okay, don't ever think it's going to be easy. I don't know if it's going to get easier, even though we're getting into Christmas. They even say the vaccine might not last more than 6 months. So always look ahead and consider what you have today and grow with that.